What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again. Once again, coasting, cruising, and chilling through this video today. I wholeheartedly believe, and this goes without saying, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. No matter how you consider it, whatever you call it, the majority of the time, if you want to get with a young lady, you are going to have to come out of pocket for it. I repeat, if you want to have relations with a young lady, you are going to have to come out of pocket for it. I don't care if that means buying a movie ticket to get some head. Don't care if that means buying a Jollibee meal for the girl. I don't care if you just come out of pocket and pay for it up front. The majority of the time, if you are going to get with a young lady, in one way or another, you're going to pay for it. But what I do stand by, and I stand by this wholeheartedly, tricking in the East is far less cheaper than tricking in the West. What do I mean by that? Simple and plain. Spending money to get with the young lady in the Eastern countries will say Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, etc., etc. Way less than trying to get with a young lady in the U.S., Canada, places like, western part of the world, Australia, places in Europe, etc. Now, the sign before you says it is still tricking even if you got it. I ain't mad at anybody who tricked. Big salute to my big brother O'Shea. He big on that. And I ain't mad at anybody who come out of pocket to get them some. But what's funny is the definition of tricking and how some people take tricking differently. I believe those who claim that they are not tricking to get women, they're simply saying just because I'm not paying for it up front to be with the woman, what I'm doing cannot be considered tricking. And to an extent, that is accurate. They're paying for whatever they're paying for, food, whatever it may be, in order to maybe one day or another get with the company of the lady, as opposed to just saying, here, this is what I got, take it or leave it, whatever. But ultimately, if you ask anybody, and me included, you're going to come out of pocket to be with the woman. It doesn't matter how you look at it. Hell, my first date with my young lady, I paid $1 at the school canteen. Believe that shit? One whole dollar. That was our first date. So I've taken my young lady to different places and shit like that. And I do believe that you men have, in one way or another, taken your young ladies or ladies that you've been interested in on a date. Whether you call that tricking or not, I don't know. But I guarantee you this, taking a woman out on a date in the East as opposed to taking a woman out on a date in the West is a whole lot cheaper in the East. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. I can spend 100 pesos on a meal. It's $2. You spend $100 on a meal in the West. And I mean, these girls want something fancy. They ain't gonna just settle for no date at McDonald's, a little KFC chicken bucket. Nah. Not acceptable. You understand? They want the good shit. They want the fine dining. $50 plates and stuff. Now, if you do happen to take a woman in the East on a fine dining experience, you still come out cheaper than taking them on a fine dining experience out in the West. You understand? This is where I'm coming from. Tricking in the East is far less cheaper than tricking in the West. I said it before, man. The most you'll spend money on is a plane ticket. Hell, I encourage you to travel just because. Let's keep that 100. I don't really tell you to travel for women. I don't really condone that. Not just for the women. I want you to want to travel because you want to travel. Let a woman be your bonus. But I'm telling you right now, I don't care how you split it. Don't care how you see it. I'd be damned if you can sit there and argue the facts that tricking in the East is far less cheaper than tricking in the West. Trust me, I know this. Know this firsthand, and I can probably find 1,000,001 men who will come through in the comment section who can attest to this fact. So again, going back to those that hate men for choosing to date women abroad, why do you hate if I'm coming out cheaper doing the exact same thing that you're probably gonna do? One way or another, I don't care how you split it. You're going to spend money to get with somebody. I mean, even if that means buying a bottle of wine or buying a bottle of whatever drink she likes just so that she could come over and chill with you, get her mind a little twisted so y'all could hook up. At the end of the day, you bought the bottle, right? She ain't bring her own money. She ain't buy the bottle. You did that. So at the end of the day, no matter how you split it, tricking or not, you coming out of pocket for it. And I'd be damned if there's anybody who can argue that point, argue against it. Now, there are the chosen few. I'm talking about a serious group of like 1%ers. And I'm not meaning that in a rich way, but just the motherfuckers who look like they were cut from stone. The individuals who's got the mouthpiece, the greatest of all time. You have those. I mean, there are a chosen few that look the part, and you can get a woman to do all that for you. There are a chosen few out there. I will say that. I ain't one of them. Y'all know that shit for sure. There are a chosen few that can get with women that'll do that for them. And for you, I salute you for that. If you get a woman to trick on you, that is the biggest trick of all time. If you could get a woman to trick on you, that is the biggest trick of all time. And I ain't mad at you for doing that. But what I do find funny is the ones that you find that are willing to trick on you. They ain't always the prettiest, And I ain't mad at you. I mean, hell, man, if you could get a woman to do right for you, give you money and do all that shit, that's awesome. That's the greatest trick of all time. But, let me get back to the topic before I lose my train of thought. Tricking in the East will always be cheaper than tricking in the West simply because it's just the way that the economic world has, structured itself. And, if you want to, give women money in the West, try giving her 1,000 pesos. You know how much that is? $20. Seeing what you see what you accomplish with $20. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 pesos is a whole lot cheaper than $1,000. You feel me? $50 is a whole lot more expensive than 50 pesos, even though you can't give a girl 50 pesos and get right. I'm just, giving you the hypothetical. 2,500 pesos in the in the Philippines is about $50. Ain't enough to break the bank. So if you just gonna say, you know what, baby, go buy yourself something, buy yourself something nice, if that's what you want to do it. It's still tricking even if you got it. But at the end of the day, accept it for what it is. But always understand, tricking in the East will always be cheaper than tricking in the West. That has been my time, ladies and gentlemen. The Good Doc is out. Peace.